And now, for my last trick, I will turn this pumpkin into a beautiful horse-drawn coach. Cabina Kagami.
Once upon a time, very far away.
Lisa? Mona?
You called, Mother?
You're right, I did. But why? Oh, yes. Where's what's-her-name?
Probably in the kitchen. Why?
Because I want to have a quiet little chat with her. Hey, Cinderella!
Once upon a time, very long ago, could it be last Thursday?
Thanks, Rufus. Look, why don't I drive for a while, and you can wash. Would you like that? Okay. There you are. Rufus, you can't wash dishes like that.
Hey, Cinderella!
You yelled, stepmother?
Yes, I yelled. Why aren't you sitting in the cinders where you belong?
Well, you told me to wash the dishes.
Oh, excuses. Finish those dishes and get back to the cinders. And take that crummy dog with you.
Here in the heart of the local rented district, here stands the castle of the king. The king is in charge of everyone and thing.
All right, everybody. Stand back, Featherstone. Pop! Bullseye!
Good shot, Dad.
How about that? Arthur, be a good fellow and gather up the royal darts.
Okay, Dad.
Okay, Your Royal Highness.
Named so because though he is now Prince Charming, King Arthur, one day he'll be.
Thanks. Now watch this one. Over-the-shoulder shot.
Good shot, sire. Awfully close.
Thanks, Featherstone. Well, now that I've mastered this game, I think I'll take up archery. Of course, I'll have to have someone teach me archery. Tell me, has either of you ever arched?
Once upon a time, waiting to be told, was a lovely story, one you won't forget.
I was just kidding around before. Now I really will change a pumpkin into a beautiful horse-drawn coach. Wabatongashi.
Could you take these dishes and stack them in the pantry for me, Rufus? Good. Here you are. Are you sure you can manage? Careful. Ooh. Good boy. I never thought he'd make it. Oh, dear.
Hey, Cinderella!
Yes, stepmother?
Have you finished those dishes yet?
Rufus just finished them.
High time, too. There are chores to be done.
But I thought you wanted me to sit in the cinders.
Nonsense. I want you to scrub the floor.
But it's clean.
Oh, well, don't you think I can see that? I didn't mean for you to scrub a clean floor, you nit. Get it dirty first, and then scrub it.
Get it dirty first?
Oh, give me strength. Go outside and find a muddy garden. Tramp around in it. Then track the mud back into the kitchen here and scrub the floor. Do you think you can do that?
Yes, stepmother.
And take that crummy dog with you. 6 muddy feet are better than 2.
Boy, wicked stepmothers can really be a pain. Did you hear what she said? Hey, I know what. While we're looking for a muddy garden, you can dig up the bone I gave you to bury yesterday. Would you like that? What's the matter? You don't remember where you buried it? Oh, Rufus. Well, come on. Let's try and find a muddy garden. Come on, Rufus.
Here comes the beautiful horse-drawn coach you've all been waiting for. Nagagami.
Isn't there anything scheduled for today, Featherstone? Not even a parade? How about a birthday party?
I'm sorry, sire, but today isn't anyone's birthday in the entire kingdom.
Well, yesterday wasn't anybody's birthday either, was it? It's been a lousy year for birthdays. Must be something we can do for fun around here. Hey, son, come here.
Oh, yes, Dad?
Hey, what are you doing in that ridiculous outfit?
Oh, I was just going to do a little work in the royal garden.
Oh, more power to you, boy. You know me, I never was much of a one for gardening. I had an uncle with a green thumb, though, once. Disgusting sight. Well, off you go, son. Don't want to keep you from your posies. Oh, wait. Come back here.
Oh, yes, Dad?
How old would you say you are?
Well, I'm going on...
Just as I thought. You know, it's high time you were married.
Married?
Yeah, just think about it. Shoes and rice, and organ music, wedding cake, and presents.
Well, I have thought of it, Dad, but I don't...
Then it's settled. I tell you what. We'll give a huge ball and invite every princess we can lay our hands on. And from them, you shall choose Miss Girl of Your Dreams.
Gee, Dad, do you really think that...
I got an even better thought. We'll make it a masked ball. Isn't that a fun idea?
A masked ball? But if everyone's wearing a mask, how will I know what Miss Girl of My Dreams looks like?
Oh, you don't know the first thing about masked balls. Point is, at the last stroke of midnight, everybody takes off their masks and gets acquainted. It's a great icebreaker.
But you really think...
I don't think, son. I decree. And I decree that tomorrow evening there will be a masked ball at the palace, and the door prize will be you.
Swell.
Oh, what's the matter, boy? Listen, believe me, tomorrow evening a beautiful horse-drawn carriage will pull up at the castle gate, and out of it'll step Miss Girl of Your Dreams.
And now, for all you horse-drawn coach fans, Biscuitossi. Hello? No, I will not accept the charges.
It's going to be a lousy party, Kermit.
How do you know?
Because I know all the girls who are coming. I don't want to marry any of them. They're all stuck up.
Oh?
Well, sure. There's nothing that'll make a girl stuck up faster than if she's able to say that she personally knows a prince. And they all personally know me.
I personally know you, and I'm not stuck up.
Yeah, but you're not a girl.
I know I'm a frog. You don't have to keep reminding me.
If I could just meet one girl who wasn't stuck up.
What you want is to know a girl who doesn't know you. And that's impossible, so why don't you just forget it and go back to your gardening?
What's the point? I'm a terrible gardener. The only things that grow in this mud are the geraniums. And they were planted by the people we rented the castle from.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. Those tangerines over there don't look so bad. A little bit small, maybe, but,
Those are pumpkins.
Uh-huh. Know something?
What?
It's lucky you're a prince, because you'd never make it as a gardener.
Here's a pretty muddy garden. Come on, Rufus. Tramp. Hello. What are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Oh, I was just tramping.
Do you tramp here often?
Not too. Are you the gardener?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Cinderella, and this is Rufus. He's my dog.
Hi, Cinderella. Hello there, fella.
What's your name?
Are you serious?
I beg your pardon?
You mean you don't know who I am?
Well, of course not.
You haven't seen my picture on the money?
What are you talking about?
What he's talking about, my dear girl, is simply that he is a frog.
I'm Arthur. I'm the gardener here.
Ah!
How do you do, Arthur?
Would you excuse me a minute? I'm sorry for what I said, Kermit, but I had to give you some hint not to reveal who I am.
You call Shut Up Frog a hint?
But don't you see? This is the girl who doesn't know me. She's not stuck up like all the other girls, so please don't reveal my secret.
Okay. Just don't do anything stupid.
Right. Hey, Cinderella, how'd you like to go to a party tomorrow night?
Yeesh.
Party? Where?
Well, at the palace.
You're going to a party at the palace?
Of course.
They're inviting a gardener to a party at the palace?
What gardener?
You.
Oh! Oh, yeah, sure. It's kind of a casual party.
Oh, but no one's allowed into the palace without a personal invitation.
Gee, that's right. Excuse me a minute. What do I do?
Beats me. You'll never get the king to invite that girl to the party.
He'll invite her after I spring my plan on him.
What's your plan?
Well, I haven't thought of it yet. Hey, Cinderella, can you wait here for a few minutes?
Where are you going?
To get you an invitation to the party.
How are you going to manage that?
That's for you to know and me to find out. Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
You know, I think there's something you ought to know.
What?
It's about Arthur.
Oh, yeah. Isn't he nice?
Yeah.
You know, no one's ever invited me to a party before.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Think nothing of it. People always interrupt me.
No, really, what were you about to say?
Forget it. You wouldn't have believed me anyway.
Why not?
Who listens to a frog?
True.
Stone, take an invitation. You are invited to a masked ball at the palace. Bring a present for the king. No, change that. Why not bring a present for the king? No, change that. Why not bring a present for the king if you know what's good for you? Even though I wouldn't do anything to you if you didn't bring one, probably. Okay? And sign it, loads of love, Your Royal Highness, and address it to occupants.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, Dad.
Howdy, son. We just finished the invitations to your party.
Oh, speaking of the party, who did you say you were inviting?
I told you. Princesses.
Aren't you going to invite any of the common people?
Common people? Ugh.
Well, that's not very democratic.
I know what you're up to. You want me to invite that frog. Nothing doing.
Oh, that's not it.
Can't you just imagine what sort of presents common people would bring you?
Certainly can. Did you say presents?
But, Dad...
Don't interrupt, boy. Presents from the common people, huh?
Look, I just want to...
Not now, Arthur. Featherstone, tell me, how could I get a lot of presents from the common people?
You would get the most number of presents if you invited everybody in the kingdom.
By George, that's what I'll do. I'll invite every last person in the kingdom.
Father?
Absolutely not. You cannot invite that frog to this party.
But...
Every last person in the kingdom, but not that frog.
But don't you... Every last person in the kingdom?
Right.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
That boy's up to something. Better take a P.S. to that invitation.
Yes, sire.
P.S. No frogs.
Hey, Cinderella.
What?
You're invited.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Why not?
Well, I always figured I'd be the last person to be invited to the palace.
Well, that's just it. The king has decided to invite everyone in the kingdom, including the last person. And that's you.
He's inviting everyone?
Oh, sorry, Kermit.
Oh, Arthur, I'm so nervous.
Why?
I'm going to meet the king.
So?
What should I say to him?
Well, you could just say hi.
Hi, Your Royal Highness.
Sounds good.
And what do you suppose he'd say?
Oh, he'd probably say something like, What kind of a present have you brung me?
What kind of a present will we bring him? He probably has everything.
He doesn't have a back scratcher. Oh, I'll bet he doesn't have a back scratcher.
Arthur, now you've got to show me what I should do when I meet the prince. You pretend to be the prince, and I'll pretend to be me. And I'll come in, and I'll bow very, very low, like this. And the prince will say,
Hey, Cinderella.
oh, he'd never say, hey, Cinderella. He'd say something royal.
I'll bet when he meets you, he says, Hey, Cinderella.
Arthur, it's lucky you're a gardener because you'd never make it as a prince.
Hey, how will I recognize you at the party?
Well, you know what I look like.
Yeah, but it's going to be a masked ball.
Oh, dear.
Excuse me a minute. Hey, Kermit. Any ideas?
Well, this is just off the top of my head, but why don't you each wear one of those geraniums? And then when you see somebody wearing a geranium, you'll know who it is.
I've got it. Why don't we each wear a geranium? Then when we see someone wearing a geranium, we'll know who it is.
Oh, Arthur, you're so smart. Which reminds me, what time is it?
It does?
Oh, please, really, Arthur.
Well, it's early.
Early? Oh, I promised my stepmother I'd be home early.
Hey, Cinderella.
Oh, thanks, Arthur. I'm always losing that slipper. Bye.
See you at the ball. Don't forget the geranium.
Just one more thing, Your Majesty.
What's that?
If everyone is going to bring you a present, don't you think it fair that Your Highness should give them something in return?
Me give a present to everyone in the kingdom? Have you lost your mind, Featherstone?
It wouldn't have to be much, sire. Just some little token.
Well, maybe you got something there. Good for the old image, huh? See, something really cheap, but still something nice. Hey, I got it. Right down there in the royal garden. Featherstone, when each guest comes in and hands you their present for me, take it and give them with my compliments a geranium.
Now, before we go to the ball, we have to think of a present for the king which will make him eternally grateful to us. I have an idea. Well, what we have to do is to think of a present for the richest person in the kingdom. So we must find the poorest person in the kingdom, find out what that person would like to have as a present, and whatever it is, we get exactly the opposite for the king.
That's a wonderful idea, Mother. And if the person's the exact opposite of the king, then we just get an exact opposite kind of present.
Shall we find out immediately?
Yes.
Hey, Cinderella!
Yes?
Don't get your hopes up because you can't have it. But if you could have it, what would you like to have more than anything else in the world?
Oh, I never thought. But if I could have anything at all, I think I would like to have a new hair ribbon.
A new hair ribbon. Well, that gives us something to go on, all right. Now, we have to figure out what the opposite to a new hair ribbon is.
The opposite of new is old. So whatever we get should be something old.
And hair ribbon is something you wear on the top of your head, so we should get him something he would wear on the bottom of his feet.
Socks.
Wonderful. The perfect present for a king. The opposite of a new hair ribbon. Old socks.
Stepmother,
We use my socks. They're older than yours.
What is it?
They are not.
I was just
I have those socks that are older than anything you've got.
on the invitation to the ball.
My socks are older than your socks by a mile, dummy.
Shut up, me darling. They're both old socks. We'll give him one of yours and one of yours. Now, you were saying, Lunchet?
On the invitation to the ball, does it say that everyone in the kingdom is invited?
That's what it said. So?
Well, since everyone in the kingdom is invited, do you think that I might go?
Oh, but of course, my dear. Of course you may go to the ball. If you can find a suitable party dress to wear, and if you can find a coach to take you there, and if you can find somebody to drive the coach, and if I don't change my mind at the last minute. By the by, what time is it?
The last minute.
Oh, get along, girls. We must gift wrap your socks.
Oh, Rufus, I knew it. That At least I should have known it. It was just too good to be true.
If I could go dancing, my dress would be white and nearly as light as the breeze. If I could go dancing, I'd walk in the palace as free as you please. The king and the courtiers would freeze as I started dancing. Whispers everywhere, who can she be? And the prince is there, gazing at me. If I could go dancing tonight, the ending would turn out so right. If I could go dancing, if I could go dancing, if I could go dancing.
Well, I think we've solved this pesky little horse-drawn coach problem now. If I could have your attention for a minute. If I could have your attention. Basket song?
Where did you come from?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother. Help me down from here, will you?
Are you a real magic fairy godmother?
Magic? Take a look at this. Ta-da!
Hey, that's terrific. You really are a fairy godmother. But why are you here?
Because you cried. Whenever you cry, I know you need me, and I appear.
Well, I've cried lots of times, and you never appeared before.
Oh, well, I've been awfully busy. But I know your problem, and with one wave of my magic wand, I will turn you from a puppet into a real boy.
I don't want to be a real boy.
Oh, no, of course you don't. I'm glad I thought of him, though. I think I left him in a whale somewhere. Oh, well. What is your problem, my dear?
Oh, fairy godmother, the king is giving a ball at the palace, and he's invited everyone. But I haven't got a coach to take me there, even though my stepmother says I can go, sort of, and I haven't got a party dress either, and Arthur will be there looking for me with his geranium or slippers. I need to go to that ball.
And so you shall, my dear.
But I can't. I don't have a party dress.
The old magic wand will take care of that.
Really?
Trust me.
And dancing slippers?
No sweat.
And a coach?
A coach.
Well, stepmother says I can't go unless I have a beautiful horse-drawn coach.
Now, where do you suppose we could find a coach?
Couldn't you use magic?
Magic?
I mean, couldn't you turn something into a coach?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm no fairy godmother, but something big and coach-like. Like... Hey, how about a pumpkin?
Did you ever have one of those days? Well, now, let's get down to work. One thing at a time. Tell me, what exactly do you need for this party?
A horse-drawn coach.
Besides that?
A dress?
Oh, yes, a beautiful party dress.
Hey, Cinderella!
Oh, my stepmother. She mustn't find you here.
Me pretty and I are off to the ball. So you just sit here in the cinders. And before you go to bed, remember to turn off that
Lamp.
Thank you. Turn off that lamp. Come along, girls.
Bye-bye.
Phew. Oh,
Now, where were we?
Dress.
Oh, yes, dress. I think the spell is wanna patay.
Oh, fairy godmother, it's beautiful.
It certainly is. Did I do that? Well, I'll have to remember that one. Well, what next?
I need some dancing slippers.
I should say you do. Oh, this is a terrific spell. With these slippers, all you have to do is close your eyes, make a wish, and they'll take you and your dog straight home to Kansas.
Oh, but we don't want to go to Kansas.
All right, just a suggestion. Now, slippers, Athabasca.
Oh, they're beautiful, fairy godmother. Oh, I've never seen such beautiful slippers in my whole life. Oh, and they must be just the right size, too. Hey, wait a minute. They're glass.
Well, that's the latest thing. It's part of the new see-through look. Just remember, dear, dance softly. Well, you're all set. Dress, slippers. Yes, sir.
Coach?
I was just thinking about that. Cinderella, how would you feel about going to this ball in a taxi? I'll pay. Oh, boy. Well, I'll try like I've never tried before. Oh, Cinderella, there's something you're going to have to know sooner or later. Pumpkins into horse-drawn coaches is not one of my best spells.
I've got your pumpkin.
I've tried every magic word I know. Wabatongashi, Biscuitasi, Kabinakagami.
Oh, that's fantastic, fairy godmother.
I know, it's really got me very depressed.
But you did it.
I did it? I did it! Oh, that's my horse-drawn coach. Oh, how did I do it? Oh, just look at that beautiful thing. If I don't remember how I did it, I'll die.
Can we get somebody to drive it for me?
Certainly, coachman. And now what turns into coachman? Frogs. Frogs turn into coachmen. You don't happen to know any unemployed frogs, do you?
I know one frog. Kermit. He lives in the garden across the street.
Perfect. I'm going to fly magically away to find him. Mystic vapors lift me high, send me hurtling through the... Where did you say that garden was?
Just across the street.
I'll walk it.
Bye, fairy godmother. Oh, Rufus, I've got a fairy godmother, and I'm going to the ball, and I got glass slippers and everything. Oh.
So let me lay it on you. Fairy godmother to Frog. Cinderella needs a coachman to take her to the ball tonight. And you're nominated.
I decline the nomination.
But you gotta do it.
Not me, lady. I don't want to be turned into no coachman. I like being a frog. It's all I know.
But think of Cinderella. She's counting on you.
I was afraid you'd say that. The sure way to a frog is through his emotions. All right, I'll do it.
Good.
Provided I do it as a frog.
Oh, that's so tacky. Who ever heard of a frog driving a coach?
Take it or leave it.
I turn you back into a frog right after the ball.
I know your work, lady. And frankly, I wouldn't want to chance it.
All right. Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. You're hired.
Crazy.
Oh, and don't you have some little friend who could come along and help out with the horses and all?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring Splurge.
Splurge?
Yeah, but don't try to change him into no coachman either. He likes being what he is.
What is he?
He's that. Hey, Splurge, this is Cinderella's fairy godmother.
Well, how do you do? Good grief.
He's great with horses. He likes to pat them.
Don't you have any smaller friends?
Look, lady, I work with Splurge or I don't work. And you be nice to him or I'll tell him you're a radish. Easy, boy. Easy. Down, big fellow.
All right, all right. I'll meet you guys over at Cinderella's in 5 minutes. I gotta go rent some horses. I hope that stable takes credit cards.
Thanks, Rufus. I never tried pushing a coach through a kitchen door before. That reminds me. I don't have a present for the king. Rufus, you know that back scratcher of yours. Would you let me have it so that I could give it to the king? But the king doesn't have a back scratcher. And besides, What do you need an old back scratcher for? You've got me. Thanks, Rufus. Oh, thanks. It's just the right size, too. Gee, it must be getting late. I wish my fairy godmother were here.
I am, my dear.
How's that for magic?
Oh, it wasn't so magic. I just walked over from the horse rental place.
Where's Kermit?
He's outside taking care of the horses.
No, I'm not. The horses split.
What?
Split, bugged out, vacated the premises, ran away. They weren't exactly crazy about Splurge. I told you he loved to pat horses. I didn't mention that he's not very good at it.
Oh, Kermit.
Well, that ties it. Just how do you suggest we get to the ball now?
Oh, I got that all worked out. Hey, Splurge. There you go. You'll be the only guest to arrive at the ball in a beautiful Splurge-drawn coach. Let's go, big fellow.
Oh, I don't care. I'm going to this ball if I have to pull the carriage myself.
As soon as this story's over, I'm going to take a 3-week vacation.
Uh-huh. I see the guests are beginning to arrive. Good heavens. Featherstone? Is that coach being pulled by a purple shaggy monster? And is that a frog driving?
I'm afraid it is, sire.
Oh, thank heavens. I thought I was seeing things.
Well, here we are. Boy, that was some ride.
Go back.
Say, how do you get that beast to run so fast?
Whoa! I dangle a radish in front of him.
A radish?
Radish, radish! Whoa!
Oh, look.
What?
My stepmother and stepsisters. I never thought we'd get here before they did.
Cool it. So I was saying to the Duchess only yesterday, how is it that you managed to get your wash so much whiter than white?
Well, don't just stand there with your mouths hanging open. She's no prettier than either of you. Oh, who's kidding who? Come on, lump.
They didn't recognize me.
I told you. You've got your geranium, so Arthur will know you.
Yep.
Good, then let's go.
Oh, are you coming to the ball, too?
Sure, I've got to keep an eye on you to be sure you leave by midnight.
Midnight? How come? I'm old enough to stay up late.
Oh, gee, I guess I forgot to tell you. You see, dear, some spells only last so long, and in this case, so long happens to be midnight.
Oh, that kind of puts a crimp in the evening. Which reminds me, do you have a mask?
Yes, I do. A friend of mine gave it to me. Very generous fellow. Wanted to lend me his faithful Indian companion as well.
Don't stay too late. I'm double parked.
I'm sorry you're not coming too, Kermit.
Don't worry about it. Wait till you see how many kings get invited to the frog ball.
But you can't give a geranium to everyone at the ball.
It's a royal decree. Anyone who arrives at the ball with a present for the king will receive as a door prize 1 geranium absolutely free.
Oh, great. I'll never be able to find her now.
Find who?
Oh, you wouldn't understand. Look, do me a favor, will you? If you see a girl come in wearing a really crummy dress, will you let me know?
I believe I'm entitled to 3 geraniums for myself and my 2 lovely daughters.
Certainly, madam.
And could you please direct me to the punch bowl?
I suggest you look for the king. Where you find the king, I'm sure you'll find the punch bowl.
Thank you.
Any sign of her yet?
The girl in the crummy dress, I'm afraid not. There was a lady here a moment ago with 2 crummy daughters, if that's any help.
Afraid not.
Thank you. Thank you. May I help you, miss?
Who, me? Oh, I don't know. I was just looking for a boy named Arthur.
The only Arthur I know is the prince.
Oh, no. This Arthur's a gardener.
Then I'm afraid I can't help you.
Wait. Maybe you can. This Arthur will be wearing a geranium.
Who won't? I'm giving a geranium to each guest as a door prize.
Oh, but you can't do that.
If one more person tells me to stop handing out geraniums...
I'm sorry. Just that... Oh, Arthur, how will I ever find you?
Excuse me.
Me too.
I was looking for someone, and I guess I forgot to watch where I was going.
Me too.
Oh, I see I spilled your punch. Can I get you some more?
No, thank you. It really isn't very good since the ice melted.
Oh, you noticed that, too. Oh, let me introduce myself. I'm Prince Charming.
Are you really? Imagine.
And who are you?
I'm nobody.
Well, you must be somebody. I've never known anyone who wasn't somebody before.
Well, I thought the whole point of a masked ball was that you don't let anybody know who you are.
Golly, you're probably right. Look, forget I told you I was the prince.
Right.
Say, since you're looking for someone and I'm looking for someone, maybe we could look together. I mean, would you like to dance or something?
Sure. Okay.
Cut open a pie and 4 and 20 blackbirds fly out. If there's anything I don't need, it's a funny chef.
I don't see why we have to dance with each other.
All the men are too dazzled by my beauty to dare approach us.
How do you know it's your beauty they're dazzled by?
Are you sure I sent you an invitation?
Everyone was invited except frogs.
That's true.
I'm not a frog.
You got a point there.
I always imagined the palace walls would be blue, but actually they're sort of reddish.
Arthur?
That's my friend's name.
Oh, that's my name, too.
Small world.
Gee, I wish I'd said that.
Do come here.
Are you sure we haven't met someplace? School, maybe?
I didn't go to school.
Well, hey, neither did I. Maybe that's where we met.
Oh, yeah. You know, you can always tell royalty by the profile. For instance, what does this nose make you think of?
Oh, Splurge, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you with your mask on.
You know, you're only the second girl I've ever met who didn't get stuck up because they knew me.
But I don't know you.
You don't?
Well, don't you remember? You told me to forget that you told me that you were the prince.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if we do this again next year, remind me to be more specific than no frogs.
Gee, I'm sorry the person you were looking for didn't show up.
Likewise.
I'm having a pretty good time anyway.
Me too. Oh, my goodness. I have to go.
Oh, but you haven't even had any ice cream and cake.
Step on it.
I'm
I'm coming.
Well, whoever heard of not staying for the ice cream and cake?
I know, but...
Hey, don't you want to see Dad open his presents?
But thank you for a lovely evening, and please thank you for...
Wait! The night is young!
Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't even know who you...
Hey, what was that you stepped on, son?
Well, I don't know. Looks like it used to be some sort of a glass shoe.
Well, the prince danced with no one else. And then, at the first stroke of midnight, even before the ice cream and cake, mind you, she ups and dashes out the door. I tell you, it's an evening you'd never have forgotten if I'd allowed you to go.
You say no one has any idea who this girl is?
The only thing anyone knows for sure is that she's a princess.
Well, how do they know that?
Oh, you only had to look at her to know she was a princess.
All you had to do was look at her to know she was a princess.
She wasn't stuck up like all the other princesses I've known.
Oh, look, kid, just because you're royal don't mean you have to be conceited. Why, look at me. One of the things that's made me the greatest king in memory and a legend in my own time is my lack of conceit. By the way, what sort of present did you bring me?
The back scratcher, I believe, sire.
There you go. Only a princess could think up a swell present like that. You should have seen some of the junk I got. You know, somebody even had the nerve to give me a pair of old socks. Don't they know I've already got a pair of old socks? Anyhow, where was I, Featherstone?
The mysterious princess, sire.
Right. And I've decided that she's the one.
She's the one what?
She's the girl you're going to marry.
I thought I was going to have a say about who I married.
Well, sure you are, boy. Just not the final say, that's all.
Swell.
What's the matter? You liked her better than anybody else at the ball, didn't you? You didn't dance with anybody else.
Well, there's someone I like better who wasn't at the ball.
Well, who's that?
Cinderella.
Cinderella? Where'd you get a dumb name like that?
Well, she's called Cinderella because she sits by the cinders.
You think I'd let you marry a girl who sits by the cinders? What do? Move her thrown into the fireplace? Anyhow, my mind is made up. You shall marry the mysterious princess.
But we don't even know her name.
No problem. Featherstone, how do we find out who this girl is?
We give another ball, invite everyone, and when she shows up, we ask her.
That isn't gonna work, you meatball.
Why not?
Because Bright Boy over here stepped on her shoe and smashed it. She's not gonna go to a ball wearing one shoe.
Say, I guess it's hopeless, huh, Dad?
Nonsense. I know what we'll do. We'll put an ad in the paper saying if the mysterious princess will make herself known, Arthur here will personally marry her. It's bound to work.
Swell.
Hey, listen to this, Rufus. Will a mysterious princess who was at the ball last Friday please contact the palace? If you can prove your identity, you will get to meet the king personally, plus being given a free geranium and Prince Charming's hand in marriage. Oh, just think. I could marry the prince. Oh, but I want to marry Arthur. Oh, they can put their old ad in the paper every day for all I care. I'll never answer it.
Well, we put that ad in the paper every day, and nobody's answered it but a bunch of nuts. Well, if she won't come to us, we'll go to her. Arthur, scour the countryside.
How will I know her when I see her?
You got me there.
I do?
If you only hadn't stepped on that glass shoe, then we could try it on every princess around till we found the one that fits.
Yeah.
By George, we can still do it. Featherstone?
Sire?
Summon all the king's horses and all the king's men. Have them put that glass slipper together again. Well, it's been 2 weeks, and all the king's horses and all the king's men haven't been able to put that glass slipper together again. I think if I had it to do over, I'd leave out the horses. They just seem to gum things up.
Well, I guess we might as well give up, huh, Dad?
Give up? Never. Think about it this way. Now, what is unique about that mysterious princess? I'll tell you what. She has one glass slipper. Now, most people have no glass slippers, and there may be one or two with two glass slippers. But I bet you she's the only princess around with one glass slipper. So, Arthur, I'm issuing you a search warrant. I want you to search the house of every princess around until you find that other glass slipper. I don't care if it takes 3 months. Three months. You spent 3 months looking for her and you still can't find her. I don't think your heart's in this.
It's not.
Well, don't lose heart. I think I have the solution.
What?
The girl doesn't want to marry you. Probably can't stand you. But are we going to let this stop us?
Yes?
Of course not.
No.
That's the spirit. Now, if this princess is trying to avoid marrying you, she wouldn't be in the most obvious places. She'd find the least obvious place for a princess to be. And that's where you'll search.
Starting this very afternoon. Rufus, do you realize what this means? Well, probably the least likely place for a princess to be hiding would be right here. And here's probably where they'll begin. And then they're sure to find the other glass slipper. Oh, and I'll have to marry the prince. Unless, Rufus, how many bones have I given you? And how many of them have you buried? Oh, and how many of those thousands of bones you've buried have you ever been able to find again? Rufus, pretend this is a bone. Go and bury it. Oh, hurry. Go on.
Hey, Cinderella?
Yes, stepmother. I've got it. Arthur!
Hey, Cinderella!
Come in. What a relief. I thought you were the prince.
How come?
Well, I heard he was coming around looking for a princess in the least likely place, and I figured this was it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Arthur, I'm so glad to see you. It's been ages since you've come to the garden. I'd just about given you up for lost.
Well, I've been awfully busy scouring the countryside.
Hmm?
Cinderella? I am the prince.
Oh, Arthur.
No, I really am.
Come on.
Tell her, Featherstone.
Young lady, you're addressing Prince Arthur Charming.
Nonsense. He's a gardener.
Would a gardener dress like that?
Oh, I didn't notice the clothes before. Arthur, is it true?
I'm afraid it is.
Oh, that's sensational.
Why?
Because I'm the mysterious princess.
Oh, Cinderella. I wish you were.
Well, if you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. Right here, I've got the glass. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Rufus, please, please. Oh, there you are. You know that glass slipper I asked you to bury? Did you bury it? Do you remember where you buried it? Oh, no. But you can vouch for me. Tell them, aren't I the mysterious princess from the ball? You see?
I'm sorry, but in this kingdom, a dog's testimony is not admissible.
My fairy godmother would vouch for me.
You have a fairy godmother?
Yes, but I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her since the night of the ball. She and Kermit had to thumb a ride home after my coach turned into a pumpkin.
Your coach turned into a pumpkin.
Why, you can ask Kermit.
Testimony from a frog isn't admissible either.
Oh, what am I going to do?
What's going on here?
May I present Prince Arthur Charming?
Oh, your Royal Highness. Smile for the prince, girl.
Perhaps you can help it. Well, your lovely daughter here.
Stepdaughter.
Oh, yes. Well, she claims that she's the beautiful, mysterious princess from the ball.
Oh, well, that is a hoot, isn't it? She never even went to the ball.
I know.
None of you believe me, do you?
You wait for me, dear? Cinderella's fairy godmother. You must be her wicked stepmother. And these are your ugly daughters. Oh, I've heard so much about you, I feel as if I know you. Oh, you must be Arthur. I can tell by the way Cinderella looks at you. Well, what seems to be the trouble?
Well, see, what happened was Cinderella says that she's the beautiful, mysterious princess from the ball.
But you can't imagine her in a diamond tiara and a beautiful ball gown and glass slippers looking like this. Pussy Tamika.
I say.
Well, she's got to be around here somewhere.
Oh, great. We can't find the beautiful, mysterious princess, and now Cinderella's gone, too.
Don't panic. I'm almost sure I can get her back.
Almost.
Don't rattle me, young man.
Hey, that's the slipper. Hey, where did you find it?
Well, if that dog wants to stay healthy, he'd better stop burying slippers in Splurge's radish patch. The big fellow wasn't happy.
Hey, Rufus, is that the slipper you buried? Well, then it really does belong to Cinderella. Then it's true. Oh, Cinderella.
I'm working on it.
We'll work harder or something.
I think this'll do it. Kabinga!
Wow!
Oh.
Hey, Featherstone, get the name of this stuff and order a case of it.
Hey, Dad, we found the beautiful, mysterious princess. She's Cinderella.
Oh, yeah?
But we've lost her again.
Oh, how about that?
Wait a minute. I've got it. Oh, Piongo!
Cinderella? Where were you?
I think it was Kansas.
Well, my work here is finished.
Thank you for everything, Fairy Godmother.
Oh, with nothing, my dear. Now I must disappear as mysteriously as I came. Kashimata. Well, on second thought, maybe I'll stick around for the wedding.
Oh, Arthur, I still can't believe it.
Now what can't you believe?
That all our troubles are over and that we're going to live happily ever after.
Ah, I could have solved this whole thing months ago, but who listens to a frog? To Kermit the Frog. You are personally invited to a royal wedding at the palace. Bring a present for the king. How's that for happily ever after? Yeesh.